miss Trump next time.
So that was the clip, and this is like, I guess the fat guy from Tenacious D, the bald guy. Yeah, that's basically it. Washed up former star Jack Black appears in a Biden fundraiser because democracy is at stake. He says my president needs me while wearing a Dark Brandon shirt and American flag overalls. Am I crazy to think that there's nothing wrong with this right here? This is totally fine. He obviously likes Biden. He doesn't like Trump. Like it's not, you shouldn't get like there's nothing wrong with this. Now, obviously, this guy in the yellow shirt is he's a fucking idiot, right? He's obviously a fucking idiot. How do you say this in front of a big audience of people? This is obviously like talking about like political violence. It's like you probably really shouldn't be saying this a whole lot, right? Like at a certain point, like if you want to joke around with something, that's fine. But whenever you're talking about something that like can literally cause harm, it was a funny joke. Yeah, sure. I mean, you can think it's a funny joke. Like, and there's two different things, right? Like, I think a lot of jokes that are funny, it's like this is also could like bother somebody, right? Like, it's like you probably shouldn't say this in public for different reasons, right? It's not a joke. Well, I mean, regardless of whether it is or not, like just because you say something as a joke does not really matter. You know, like I don't really think it's a big deal, right? If you're just like fucking around saying stuff, but like whenever you're saying things that lead to a direct real world outcome, I think that's very different, right? I mean, like, what are we even talking about here? So anyway, let's see here. Yeah, it's a call for violence. Yeah, it's jokes are not calls for violence. Like, come on, like, what is this? That's like saying it's a joke. I just posted, your mom's home address so people can harass them. Well, what do you mean? Like, that's not a joke. She's getting harassed. Yeah, but I was joking around. It was just for fun. It's a prank. Yeah, like, what are we talking about? So just saying something is a joke, like, even if it's just words, right? That's clearly not true, right? But the people that think that are, again, being intellectually dishonest. And so anyway, Jack Black comes out and he makes a statement about this. Let me see if I can find it here. So he says he's canceled the rest of his tour, received intense backlash after his bandmate Kyle Gass says don't miss Trump next time. I'm going to tell you guys why Jack Black, I think, got a lot of backlash. It's because Jack Black puts himself out there as being a genuinely, like, wholesome, nice dude. And I'm going to be honest, I think in most cases he succeeds in that. He is. And I have a positive opinion of him. I do. And I think he can see that. And so Jack Black plays, yeah. And I get it's all an act. Yeah, but it's a good act, right? It's a very good act. And I think this is why people were upset, because it's like, you're supposed to be like this nice guy and then you're doing this. And it actually, to be fair, it wasn't even him. So it's kind of, it's always unfair whenever you have like a person who is like popular and then they do something wrong, or, somebody around them does something wrong and people use it as a vehicle to like shit on the person who's popular. Because like nobody really gives a shit about Kyle Gass, right? I mean, who the fuck is this? This is the other guy in Tenacious D. Most people don't even know the guy's name. So yeah, it's guilt by association. So really, Jack Black didn't even do this. But anyway, let's go ahead and listen to what it says. Australian politician made a formal request for Jack Black and his friend to be deported immediately. And so anyway, let's go ahead and read what he said. I was blindsided by what was said at the show on Sunday. I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence of any form. After much reflection, I no longer feel it's appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour. All future creative plans are on hold. I'm grateful for the fans for their support and understanding. I'm going to be honest. I think this is pretty much the best thing that he possibly could have said. Realistically, right? I mean, what else is he going to say? It's the best he could do. Yeah, and obviously there's some people that were mad about him doing this. Let me see if I can find this here. Yeah, sorry, bro, I gotta destroy our lifelong friendship and create a partnership, or they won't let me play Bowser anymore. So, what I think is so funny about comments like this is that nobody ever thinks about it from the other direction. Like, sorry, bro, I'm going to destroy your really good reputation in Hollywood and your great image by trying to push my fringe political beliefs with your platform. Like, do you ever think about, like, from, like, what's Kyle, like, so you're saying Jack Black's not being a good friend. Well, what about Kyle? What the fuck is he doing saying this, putting him in this position? What are you doing putting him in this position? It's crazy. It's narcissistic, exactly, yes. You should never do this to a person. It's like, have you guys ever had somebody fucking unreasonable, somebody fucking obnoxious in your life that, like, their obnoxious, disagreeable demeanor causes them to be like a hostile NPC anywhere they go, and then somehow you've got to fucking cash the checks that they're writing. You've got to follow along with this. It's so fucking annoying. I hate people like that. And so when I see Jack Black have to deal with this, I've had to deal with this with people before in my life, right? Somebody says something obnoxious and people keep trying to look to me and be like, wow, I can't believe he'd let him say that. Wow, look at this. This is who he's friends with. It's so fucking annoying. And so, yes, Jack Black, there's nothing better that he could say besides this. Really, there isn't. And so you might say, by the way, you can say he's being disingenuous. Maybe you're right. But the truth is that it doesn't really matter whether he's being disingenuous or not. You know what I think? I think the sentiment is they wish the shooter was a better shot. I bet a lot of people think that. I do. I bet millions of people think that. But the problem isn't the fact that people think it. I drive down the road all the time and I see somebody in the fucking road. I want to run them over. If they're fucking in the way, if they're fucking riding in the bicycle lane, but they're getting in the way of traffic, God, I wish I could run them over. But I don't do it. I don't. Because it's against the law. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do that. It's fucking, you can imagine what would happen if every single time you got mad, you just got a chance to run somebody over. Intrusive thoughts? Yes, and I let them in. But listen, they stay in. They stay in. So it doesn't matter if you think this. It matters if you say it. People, that's fine. You can think this. People think all kinds of crazy shit, but you just don't want to go out and say something like this. Zach, you're too real for this world. I think I look, everybody, listen, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm a crazy person. I don't know. But like, anytime something like that happens, yes, absolutely. Somebody's in the road. Oh man. Oh boy. My wish was Call of Duty. Oh my God. I could have had the truck. Oh man. Yes. And so anyway, I could not agree more. Yes, exactly. And so him saying it publicly, like people trying to like, oh, but what's in your mind? Well, who cares what's in your fucking mind, right? Who could possibly know? So yes, as a cyclist, I wish to wipe my I wish to wipe cars on my way with nukes. Yes, yeah, and I'm sure there's cyclists that wish they could blow up the cars on the way to like bicycling to the overpriced smoothie shop where like a banana smoothie is like $17.89. That's before tax and tip. And so yeah, no, I get it, I understand. But listen, you don't say that. You don't fucking say that. Because one of the reasons why intrusive thoughts are considered intrusive thoughts is because they're not normalized by society. Because the more you talk about it, the more normalized it becomes, and eventually somebody says, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna run him over. People are talking about it all the time. I might as well, what am I, a pussy? I might as well run this guy over. So yes, that's normalized. Yes, they're not even normalized to yourself, exactly. So you don't need to normalize shit like this. So I think him saying this is very reasonable. So yeah. Let's see here. I'll look at a couple of other things, right? And, the guy actually put out another statement about this. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Fuck, where'd it go? Give me a second. I mean, passive suicidal ideation is common and normal? Yes, and it's about how often it's happening. Okay, there we go. So Kyle Gass of Tenacious D, apologize. Holy fuck. Okay, what did they say? The line I improvised on stage Sunday night in Sydney was highly inappropriate, dangerous, and a terrible mistake. I don't condone violence of any kind in any form against anyone. What happened was a tragedy. I'm incredibly sorry for my severe lack of judgment. I profoundly apologize to those I've let down. I truly regret any pain I've caused. I feel like this is extremely reasonable for him to say this. Like, there's nothing else that you could have... Like, yeah, I mean, like, because... I'm sorry I got caught. I mean... I understand if you want to think that an apology is inauthentic, I think that you're completely justified to think that, and it's totally okay for you to feel that way. However, I think that you can also acknowledge that there would be no other string of words that would be a better outcome than this string of words. Like, would any other string of words convince you more than this one did? Probably not. So that's the point that I'm making. is like, I think this is a good apology for what it is. That doesn't necessarily mean he's telling the truth. Of course not. But it does mean that he's taking accountability for it. And at least in the public space, this is seen as unacceptable. And I think that's a good thing. It is. And I'm guessing Mark Kern is talking about the Overton window, about how it's shifted, and then people are trying to reshift it more to the right. I'm assuming this is probably what he's saying. But yeah, I say be unapologetic. Well, that's fine. But what if he is? It's impossible to know. And also, I think that it sets a good example. Every time that somebody... There is a lot to be said with the enforcement of order and the conspicuous enforcement of order. That's why people used to do public executions. That's why they work really well. Because every year, or every time, you know, you're not reading the Bible the right way? Okay, string them up. Guys, this is what happens. You see? And then everybody's like, yep, okay, all right, we're going to read it the right way. Yeah, that's the way it goes. It's a deterrence. It is. And so anytime that this happens, I think that it's a good thing because it sets a good example for everybody else because it normalizes the behavior as being bad. So yeah, that's the way I see it. Right-wingers canceling free speech and opinion. Well, of course, people don't really care about free speech. They just care about their own speech. And also, this is my mindset. Never afford to another person the freedoms that they wouldn't afford to you. So if you think that another person would treat you badly, then you should never treat them well. Never let somebody else take advantage of your good nature. Never do that. If somebody is going to do something bad to you, do it to them first and worse. Don't ever let somebody go and take advantage of you and use your own principles and morality against you so they can bide their time and take advantage of you later on. So no, never do that. If somebody would do something to you, then you should do it to them. That's what I fucking think. Yeah, freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences. I've heard that a lot for many years. And now different people are saying the same thing. And that's just what happens because nobody really cares about the principles of this. People just care about the power. That's always how it is, right? I mean, people were monkeys. So what do you expect? So how do we do that first? How do you know it's going to happen? Well, in this case, you don't have to worry about doing it first because it's already been happening. There's already a precedent. So yeah. Democrats created this shit? Nobody started this. This has been going on for hundreds of years. Thousands of years. I think that the first election ever was like fair. And then after that first election in caveman times, the guy that didn't win was like, man, we really got to stack the deck next time. We really got to figure something else out about this. Yeah, this is not supposed to way. This is not the way it's supposed to be, right? Start plotting. Yeah, bro. Like people always been doing shit like this, man. Yeah, even though it's done with comedic intent, not a malicious intent. For that reason, it's being blown out of proportion. I think that if you're doing something like that with comedic intent, so like here's the truth, right? And I think every normal person knows this, is that the spectrum for what's okay for comedic intent is larger, but not all-encompassing. So like these are the things that you can say, these are the things that you can joke about, and these are the things that that can be said. Right? Like that's usually how it is. Policing comedy is silly. I don't think you believe that. Because how do you define what comedy is? Like if I made a joke and that joke was telling everybody in chat your home address, I don't think you'd be laughing. And I think you'd want to see me get policed. So just because somebody says something is a joke doesn't necessarily mean that it absolves them from accountability. It's just a prank, bro. Yeah. And that's the thing. And this is, again, like people like thinking about this in an abstract, but whenever it actually affects them on a personal level, now it's different. And so that's the thing. Like in front of everybody, including myself, it's good comedy. Yeah, of course. If he was a comedian, that would fly if it was comedic intent. Him and Jack Black have been faces of Democratic campaign. Doesn't fly because of that. I think you bring up a really good point, and I think that you're right about that, is that if Jack Black wasn't political at all, I think that people wouldn't have cared as much, but because he had been very outspoken in support of Biden, I think that it makes it sound a lot worse because he's being politically adjacent by doing that. I think that's a really good point you're bringing up, and I think you're right. So yeah, it's not the same. Oh, it's not the same? Explain how it's different. And also, who decides that? Who decides whether it's not the same? Do you do? Do I decide that? Does the person that decides to take what you're saying as a joke seriously and act on it, are they the ones that decide it? Who decides this? Nobody does. So you see what I'm saying, right? Is like you have to have an acceptable, like, and this is the problem, right? People argue from a point of self-ref. If they argue from the perspective of themselves rather than the idea. And I think that's what's happening. It's easier to correlate, yes. Doxing does not equal joking about doxing? According to who? According to who? Who decided that? This is the problem. See, logic? No, it's not logic at all. It's just logic, yeah. According to common logic? Absolutely not. I just been smacked in the face, yes. No, there are things that you shouldn't joke about. One of the things that you shouldn't joke about is advocating for violence. This is like, I think that this is pretty much never a good idea for something like this to be joked about. Because every person in the audience thinks that, might not think that it's a joke. Are killing jokes okay then? I don't think so, right? I really don't think so. People being dumb again, then saying logic? No, that's fine, right? But the problem is jokes kind of gets lost in translation and text form. Disagree, but time and place matter completely. Yeah, definitely. Joking about having a bomb on an airplane is treated as having a bomb on the airplane. Exactly, yeah, you just don't make jokes about that. So in general, if you are joking about things that could potentially put people's lives in danger directly, you know, I think that you probably got to make a mistake, right? You're probably making a mistake. Joking about killing Putin is not okay. I don't know. I mean, like, he's a foreign person. People probably aren't going to care about it that much, right? I mean, like, let's be honest. What are we really talking about here? So, yeah. Common logic and common sense are all based off perspective. Yeah. This is generally the way that I see it. I think that if you're making jokes about, like, killing people, like, and, like, you're insinuating, like, oh, man, like, don't miss Trump next time, this is clearly a joke about killing somebody, right? It's obviously a bad thing. You should not be joking about this. Now, you can do it. Maybe you can do it. I'm not saying he should go to jail for doing it, but you shouldn't be surprised whenever people are like, yeah, this is probably a bit over the line. Yeah, the next time is what's wrong. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people are saying that they were serious. Well, if one person in the audience thinks they were, then that's a problem, isn't it? Yeah, and again, I think that if somebody was making jokes like this about you, like somebody was joking around about like you being a sexual offender or something like that, this probably wouldn't be very funny if they told that joke to your boss. It would not be funny because you might just get fired for it. It's just a prank, yeah. And this is the problem, right? Is that this issue is hard for people to relate to because most people are not the president. Most people are not in the public eye, so they don't understand it as, like, they can't relate to it. And that's why I'm trying to, like, give examples of situations that are similar to this that could affect a person, an everyday person, and how much damage that could do to that person's life if that joke, you know, theoretically, if that joke was taken seriously. And so I can create a lot of other examples and like parallels for this and like how much damage it can do to a person. But yeah, there are just certain things that you don't joke about. Is this the land of freedom of speech? Yeah, I mean, I don't think he should go to jail for it. I just think he's a fucking idiot. Maybe actually, I mean, to be fair, like joking about killing a president, probably maybe there should be at least a Secret Service, you know, conversation. But, you know, besides that, I think so. It's done. It's just bad taste. Yeah, it's just bad taste, right? There it is. You can't make jokes. You're willing to make that person face to face. Yeah, sure. And jokes that incite violence are over the line, but normal jokes with comedic intent are fine. Depends on the intent. Yeah, but it's hard to decide what the intent is. And if somebody acts on it regardless of the intent, it can still be problematic. But yeah. But Do you think Chris Rock shouldn't joke about Will Smith's wife? I don't know. I mean, it's up to him, right? But, like, either way, like, basically, I think this is a really good way. Like, I'm thinking this out kind of in real time of, like, a way to explain it the right way. I think that if something is okay to joke about, usually taking it seriously would not have an immediate negative effect on another person. So, like, if taking a joke seriously would have an immediate negative effect on another person that's very tangible, it's probably not a good thing to joke about. I'd have to think about it a little bit more. But overall, this is the reality, right? Is that I don't think any of this matters. Right? Like, none of this matters. Because I don't think that people are doing this based off of any sort of real principle at all. The truth is that liberals and leftist people have been canceling people for a long time. They've been finding out where they work, getting them fired from their job, and conservatives have realized this, and now they're doing the same thing. And they think that they're completely justified. They said, hey, this has been happening to us for fucking years. Now we're going to do it to you. So I actually don't think that a lot of people are hyper offended by this. They're not really upset about it, but they see a situation where they can fuck somebody over that they think has had a position above them. And I think that's the reason why it's happening. That's the main reason. It's got nothing to do with what was said. It's got to do with what the power of making somebody apologize for saying it means. And so that's the reason why this happened. That's what my opinion. So they're hypocrites? No, I don't think that you're a hypocrite necessarily. Like, if somebody brings a gun to a gunfight, then I wouldn't try to pull out a knife. I'd pull out a gun. Shit! What are we talking about? Yes, if you're going to do this to me, I'm going to do the same fucking thing. Yes, revengeful more like. Absolutely. Yes, you and never let people use your good nature against you. Absolutely. If people do something to you, then you should absolutely do it to them. Never think that you're above that. You know where the people that get above that are? They end up losing. Yeah, you never have that happen. Like, it's always a mistake to do that. That's fine, but you don't get to complain about cancel culture. But whenever they were being canceled, you don't even understand. So that's fine, but you don't get to complain about cancel culture. They weren't complaining about cancel culture. They were complaining about them not being powerful enough to cancel people. And also, back when they were complaining about cancel culture, they were still getting laughed at. It's not like everybody took it seriously and now they're not taking it seriously. No. People were laughing at them then. Mirroring is an effective method. Yes, exactly. Do we know the shooter's motive yet? I have no idea. Do you think there should be a massive constitutional law where you make false accusations can ruin a person's life, you should be jailed? I don't know. I think it depends. Yeah. Dumb fucking statement. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, of the mutually assured destruction take? Absolutely. If you're not willing to do that, people will take advantage of you. Literally preaching, one of the tenets of Satanism, look it up. Yes, if a man is to come into your space and challenge you or threaten you, you are to destroy him. That was by, I think, Anton LaVey. I know it. I know a lot about Satanism. Anything crazy, anything occult, anything weird, I already know about it. Don't worry about it. Okay? I've been on the internet a long time. My mom was in the even more crazy, like... Okay. I'm the tip of the iceberg. She was the fucking iceberg. Okay? She knew fucking everything. Every crazy fucking conspiracy, every weird thing. She was ordering books with like a military base, with like a fucking flying saucer over it. And it's in Antarctica, and it's about how Hitler got away. She knew everything about this shit. It was crazy. It explains a lot. Yes. Yes, and so that's how I know a lot about it. Is like she would explain all of it to me. So yeah. Do us that well? Yeah, exactly. And I hope to hear about women like that. It's always men. Yeah, because men are more prone to violence. That's just the way it is. It's the way it's biology. You can't get mad about that. Then, you get mad all you want, but that's the truth. And so, yeah, anyway, do a conspiracy tier list. Maybe I can, but what I'm saying is that, like, I know a lot of this stuff, but, like, there are people with a higher power level than I do, or than I have, and she was absolutely one of them. Like any conspiracy, I never have heard. I had never heard of a conspiracy that she didn't already know more than me about it. Whenever I brought it up to her, yeah, she would like even order these like special DVDs with like conspiracy stuff, and like I'd watch them with her naturally, and it was like, yeah, she was tapped the fuck in. Yep, exactly. Oh, it sounds like this crazy but cool fuck person. Yeah, that's pretty much about where it's at, right? And what was the craziest one? I mean, she was into QAnon for a while, and I remember asking her. She was like making dinner, and I was like, "So how many more 2 weeks is it gonna take in order for you to realize that it's bullshit?" And she's like, "I don't know, like 3." And I'm like, 3? Okay, all right. So today is the 16th. And all right, I'll bring this up at the end of next month, okay? And we'll see where we're at. And she's like, yeah. And I remember before those 4 weeks were over, she already stopped paying attention to it. Because it's like, I mean, like, you know what's going on. What the fuck is QAnon? Yeah, I'm just saying, that's what it is. And have you seen The Storm? No, I haven't seen that at all. So, yeah, it's damn cool. Yeah, in a lot of ways. What's your favorite conspiracy to indulge in? Oh, I believe a number of conspiracies, but I don't really know. I mean, I'd probably... some of them are the ones that are, like, kind of bad. Other ones, not so much. Other ones are generally agreed on, etc. JFK is the best one? I don't really have a lot of opinions on JFK, to be honest with you. I really don't know. But anyway, discuss the videos of the shooter. I haven't seen a lot. It seems like somebody really fucked up, though. Anyway, so yeah, that's the thing with Jack Black. That's basically, that's what I think, okay? That's what I fucking think about it. Is that everybody can talk about it being a, what do you call it? Everybody can talk about being a, you know, oh, he's not really sorry. You can't read his mind at the end of the day. And I think that paying lip service to something that you agree with does have value and meaning. And so I'm glad that, you know, they canceled it and the guy apologized. I feel like this is the best possible outcome, even though people might think that it's artificial or, you know, fake, basically, right? So, yeah. Doesn't know that Thomas Crooks forces a police officer down from the roof? Oh, I mean, listen. Here's what my opinion of, like, that whole, like, the thing with, like, Trump getting shot, right? I think that the probability, in my mind, that it was a conspiracy has gone up every single day. Yeah, it's gone up every single day. Now, I'm not saying it's gone over 50%. I'm not saying I believe that it's happened. But there are just so many lapses in judgment that the stars really did seem to align. And, you know, I'm not a really big astrology believer. Right? And so, like, when I see things aligning like that, I say, I think somebody put them in that order. It was set up. I don't know that. I'm not sure. I still don't think that that's what happened. I think it was just people were being stupid. I think they were just stupid and mismanaged. To be honest with you, that's what I believe. But I'm not sure about that. I don't know. So, yeah, it's really hard to say. It's most likely pure incompetence. I think that's the most likely outcome, but that's not the only possibility. So, yeah. You do a rundown of things that you believe to be strange or odd. Just a sec. I had to ban somebody that are spamming. The conspiracies, the things I found odd? Sure. I found it odd that the sniper that was on the roof was able to immediately shoot him without massively changing where his trajectory was, which meant that he either wasn't looking around actively, because if he was, he would have seen him before the guy made the shot. I think that it was also weird that so many people had eyewitness accounts of him getting on the roof, and also him even getting on the roof. Like, I think there's a video or a picture of him being on the roof. I think also, like, the fact that the area was quite open whenever you think about it, right? It's not like Trump was doing this in it's not like this was Gotham City, right? Where it could just be anywhere where there's a shooter. No, the truth is that, like, basically, it was a wide open area, and it was 150 yards away. It wasn't like 500 yards away or 700 yards away where somebody just made a long shot. That's just it. And so I see that happen. And then on top of that, let's see, 200 yards away. Most people can't even see 20 foot away without blurred vision. Yeah, I know that, but the people that can't see 20 feet away aren't the ones that are responsible for seeing 500 feet away. So yeah, that's the difference. And I think that's the 150 is pretty far. It is pretty far, but if you are regularly trying to secure an area that is 500 yards, in the context of your job, 150 is very close. And the fact that that wasn't explained at all, or that wasn't investigated at all, that's crazy to me. That's incredible, especially when I saw the shooter and he barely even, the sniper, he barely even turned his rifle. And I understand barely turning your rifle at that angle, right? The trajectory, I understand that. But like, you didn't even look there at all? How did you not even look there at all? So, I don't know, man. That's what I think. Yeah, and so it seems suspicious. It does. It does. It seems suspicious. Now, again, I don't think this is what happened. But the probability in my mind that something that was foul play happened has gone up every day. Does that make sense? I think this is a very reasonable thing to say. Apparently the spot was obstructed by a tree. Well, that's not true, because if it was obstructed by a tree, then he probably wouldn't have been able to see Trump. I mean, like, maybe it's a slightly different angle, but like from that direction, like, you know, in games, like if you're really far away from somebody, you just have to move a little bit, and they have to move a lot in order to get to you. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not believing that, man. And also, especially with people reporting it and saying that they saw the guy. So, yeah, I mean, that's what my opinion is about it. I'm very skeptical. I don't believe it. I don't think that's what happened. But the probability has gone up. And I think there's probably a number of other instances. Like, I haven't investigated this myself. This has just been things that I've passively, like, heard or seen. So, if I was actually looking into it and investigating it, I'd probably have a lot more. Always good to ask questions. Yeah, it's good to ask questions, right? And so, that's what I think. Yeah, I think it was incompetence, but I don't rule out malice. There it is. That's my thoughts.